All systems go. Clear for liftoff.
What is going on, SHIPIT Nation YouTube station? We are back with another edition of the Sunday Night Football quick hit video. We have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers heading into Jerry's World, Dallas, to take on these Cowboys and what should be an interesting matchup. We got a cool $250,000 up top in the flagship over on DraftKings. We're going to break it on down. You can see right now I have the shell of the stone. We're going to go team by team, kind of walk through some of our favorite captains, some of our favorite flex, maybe if there's any value on any of these teams, which we haven't seen a lot of value on any of these teams recently. And then we're going to dive into it. But first, before we do that, let's get the marketing material to you. We just launched this today, PGA 100. That'll get you $100 off any annual package as it relates to the PGA. Plus, you get free all access through the Super Bowl that gets you the rest of the NFL season all the way through the Super Bowl. No better deal in the industry. We have the best, the premier PGA team. We brought DGen over last year. We have Tambo. We have Hoop. We have DGen himself. Hey, we change our projections every round. Some of these sites, they just roll the same projections out over and over and over, day in, day out, day in, day out. We change ours. We have the best team over here. Head on over PGA 100. That will get you $100 off an annual membership over here. Also, make sure you're hitting that like. Make sure you're hitting that subscribe. I heard Tambo say earlier today, hey, it's a 911 over here over at SHIPIT Nation. 9,111 subscribers. So we got 911 across the board. Hoping to get to 10K before the end of the year. It will be an uphill battle for that, but we'll get there before you know it. Lastly, make sure you're putting your favorite captain and your favorite captain for both teams in the comment section below. I go back each week and check those out. Love the interaction on here, but let's dive right into it. We have the Buccaneers implied to score 4+ touchdowns in this game. We know the Cowboys defense has been a sieve all season long, giving up touchdowns left and right, giving up rushing yards left and right, especially at home where they have played much worse this season in the past. Let's start with some of our favorite captains, or who I think would be the favorite captains. Mike Evans leading the way. He is the highest priced captain on the entire slate. He goes back to his home state where he started as an Aggie. Now he goes up north to Dallas. Really like Mike Evans. I like him for a variety of reasons. He is their alpha right now. He is the best of the best that they have. There is no Cade Otton tonight. He has officially been listed as out. So no Cade Otton there, which would make Mike Evans just that much more viable in my opinion. They are big on getting him as a 11th consecutive 1,000-yard season to start his career. He's I think 80+ yards per game off. So he's within range. He had a good week last week. Mike Evans, no Trayvon Diggs. Trayvon Diggs is not very good anyway, but he's out for this Cowboys team. 15-9 for Mike Evans. Really like that price tag for him. Next up for me would be Baker. You get Baker at 14-4, which Baker has shown a little bit of rushing upside. If they fall down at the 1-2, he's liable to run one in. So don't hate Baker. Love pairing him up with Mike Evans. And with Baker, you're probably going to want to get him with at least one, possibly two, two of his pass catchers. But Baker would be my second favorite captain for the Bucs. Let's talk a little bit about the running backs. I'll just get Sean Tucker out of the way right now. I don't think Sean Tucker is going to be viable with all three of those backs. And once again, this Bucky Irvin, Rachaad White, it's a dilemma in my opinion, right? Because they're going to both play roughly 50% of the snaps. We saw Bucky was questionable all week long, left the game. I think it was 2 weeks ago early, but then he came back and it was right where it's been all season, right around the 50% snap count one way or the other. They don't really share the field together. Bucky is more dynamic in my opinion, but if you're just looking at this, it's tough to get to one of those captains. You would definitely want to build a game script to where Bucky went off rushing or Rashad. I think Bucky can catch passes too, but for some reason I think they just prefer Rachaad White as more of that pass catching back. Could you play one of these running backs in the captain and then have Baker in the flex or vice versa? I don't think that's the worst thing. I mean, like I said, you have to build the game script. You have to build the game script to that. And when you go down here and look at the Cowboys talking about their pass defense, it is a C+. It is pretty bad. Rush defense is bad as well. So if you built the game script where it was more low scoring and you thought Bucky was going to do work on the ground, I wouldn't hate that. But I would be leaning more towards going maybe lower than the field on Bucky and Rachaad. Let's talk about another pass catcher that I had some interest in, Jalen McMillan, 10-5 in the captain. I don't hate it if you're building more than 20 teams. I don't think he's going to be in the captain spot. He just doesn't get the volume that we're going to need, in my opinion, in order to be on the winner. But if you were building 20-plus teams and wanted to have a dart throw, don't hate that there. We do get Trey Palmer back tonight. He's not captain eligible, or he's not captain viable, in my opinion. Neither would Sterling Shepard. But if you wanted to pair them in the flex with Baker, don't think it's the worst play there. Let's talk about these two tight ends down there. You got Payne Durham. You got Keith. What we've seen out of them this year has kind of been more of blocking tight ends, if you will. I would say Payne Durham would be more of a pass-catching tight end than Keith. Don't really have any interest in those guys. I think, flex would be where I would have it. You can see it there. I mean, they're $200. So if we needed some salary saving, I don't think Payne Durham would be the worst. And then going in on the kickers and defense, wouldn't put either one in the captain spot, but we've seen it time and time again. These kickers all season long have just been balling. Don't hate Chase McLaughlin in a dome, no elements. Good from 50 plus. So don't hate Chase McLaughlin. Buccaneers, tough to get to that defense. They're just so beat up, have so many missing pieces in the backfield or in the secondary, excuse me. So wouldn't get the Buccaneers defense. But just to recap, Mike Evans, Baker are really the only two captains for me that I'm going to be rostering tonight. Haven't fully built any teams, but just looking at it, it's Mike, it's Baker for the Buccaneers. Let's move down to the Cowboys. And before we do that, how do you want to attack this Buccaneers team? You can see their pass defense, D+, been putrid all season long. Now we have no Antoine Winfield, other multiple pieces banged up. They've just been bad all season long. So we're going to want to pass this. This needs to be updated, obviously. Dak Prescott will not be taking the field tonight. It will be Cooper Rush, but I'm going to start with the alpha on this team, CeeDee Lamb, second highest priced captain on the entire slate. I think he's in a great spot tonight. You don't necessarily need to pair him with Cooper Rush. I think that would be a way to get different. But if you had Lamb in the captain, we could see it. If Cooper Rush passed for 175 yards and 2 touchdowns, and CeeDee caught 150 in both of those, we wouldn't necessarily need Rush. But that's just something. Like I always say, tell us a story how you're going to get there. But CeeDee Lamb, love him in the captain spot tonight. He is the alpha for this Cowboys. He should torch this secondary that has just frankly been torched all season long. Next up for me would be Rico Dowdle, and the Fat Zeke experience is just absolutely over. We saw what Dowdle has done the last 3 games, 100 plus in the last 3. He is their dude. He's been balling, quite frankly. He struggles to get in the box. 1 touchdown on the season, I believe. And so, hey, we got to get him into the end zone. I should say he's got 4. I looked at that wrong, but those have been 1 rushing, I should have said, and 3 via the air. So don't hate Dowdle to get in the end zone for the second time this year, but Dowdle would be my second favorite captain for the Cowboys. Cooper Rush is fine. Won't go too much into him, but with Cooper Rush, I would definitely have 2 of his pass catchers. If you had him in the captain, he does not provide much of a rushing upside. And then one of my favorite captains on the night is going to be Jake Ferguson. Jake Ferguson is a baller. They need to feature him. Like I said, they are missing some secondary pieces. They are missing Antoine Winfield, as I alluded to. 7,200 for Jake would basically allow you to jam everybody in there that you wanted in terms of Mike Evans, CeeDee Lamb, Baker Mayfield, maybe get you one of those Payne, Stewart, Durhams down there for the $200. But really like Jake Ferguson tonight as a captain, also as a flex play as well. Let's look and see, what kind of value we can get on this Cowboys teams. Kevontae Turpin sitting down there at $3,000. Don't hate Kevontae. We know with Kevontae, he's going to have to hit a home run, right? The volume is not going to be there for him, but he is so dynamic with the ball in his hands, and there's those fluke games where he does pop off. Only playing around 20-25% of the snaps, but I believe Jalen Brooks is out this game due to an injury, so that's 30% of snaps that need to go back. So don't hate Turpin if you wanted to do that dart throw. I don't think I'm going to get to any Brandon Cooks or Jalen Tolbert. They just haven't found that connection. The volume's not there. It's pretty much a CD type game for me tonight. I think I might have CD at all the teams that I do ultimately end up playing. 5,200 for Brandon Aubrey, way too cheap. They tried a dadgum 70-plus yard field goal last week with him. Not that a 70-yard field goal and a 50-yard field goal is the same thing, which makes no sense to me in terms of DK scoring. But Brandon Aubrey, we know the type of leg he has. We know that they don't mind trotting him out there from basically anywhere on the field at 5,200. He's just way too cheap for me. And then the Cowboys defense, 3,600. Man, they have some elite pass rushers. I wouldn't hate the Cowboys defense in the flex. Their defense has been bad, right? But Micah Parsons, who's been beat up, is an elite pass rusher. Tristan Wirfs has been beat up. So if you wanted to take a shot on the Cowboys defense, wouldn't hate that. Wouldn't get the fat Zeke. Schoonmaker doesn't play enough. Mingo has just been an afterthought, maybe one of the worst trades in the history of the NFL. Hunter Lukey, third down back only. They don't use him. Man, it's tough down there. It would be just looking down here. Turpin, Cowboys, Ferguson, Aubrey for me down there in the cheap range. But I'm going to try to get as much CeeDee Lamb as I possibly can on the night. Let me just rank my three favorite captains, and I'll get on out of here. It would be Mike Evans 1, CeeDee Lamb 2, and then I would go Baker 3. I think Baker has a big night tonight in Dallas. But yeah, it should be a good game. Looking forward to it. Hopefully someone ships a $250,000 over here at the Nation. But appreciate you tuning in to this quick hit video. Ask me a question in the comment section below. Make sure to get to all those each week. Certainly appreciate you tuning in. Before I get on out of here, hit that like, hit that subscribe. My favorite captain's Mike Evans. Put your favorite captain in the chat below. And if you aren't a member over here at the Nation, head on over there now. You can get the best PGA product in the streets today. $100 off our annual package, PGA 100. That will get you all the NFL as well. Hoop, Tambo, DGen, and his crew. Nobody better in the business than that. That'll wrap it up for me. It's your boy Ham. Good luck tonight in those contests. I'll see you at the top of the leaderboards. Let's ship it.